Next question. I unexpectedly lost my 6-figure job 4 weeks ago. First of all, I'm sorry to hear that. My business has been essentially dormant for 5 years and my list is stale. By essentially, I would speak and do events over the last 5 years when people call me, but I did no outreach. Now I want to make a go at it with a minimum goal of $150,000 in 2018. I cleaned and decluttered my home office. I have a ton of content ready to go, including 2 books in print. My website is lousy. I don't have a media kit or current one-pager to direct people to. I'm not sure how and where to start calling to get paying gigs and where to send them for info on me. Those are my questions, and you probably have a few more after reading this. In full transparency, I did another program, didn't follow through. I was working in a highly stressful job, 70 to 80 hours a week, to the point that I got really sick. I was terminated on FMLA, which I don't know what that means, which is a violation of federal law. I've spent the last 4 weeks getting my legal strategy in place, and that's done. Now I can focus on making money. Okay, great. So it sounds like you're going to attack that, and that's one avenue, but you still really want to grow your business. I'm really excited and have the least amount of stress in close to 10 years. That makes me super fantastic. All right. So let me address some of these things. I think you need to have more pride in your assets. So for you to say your website is lousy and you don't have a media kit and you don't have a current one-pager or anywhere to direct people to, let's fill that gap. Let's spend the time on creating a website that you don't believe is lousy, that you have some pride in. And I speak from total experience. For most of my business career, I've not liked my website. And I know that when you don't like your website, you're less likely to promote yourself. You're less likely to send people somewhere that you don't like. And if people are going to ask you for a one sheet and you don't have a one sheet, or every single time somebody asks you something, you're going to have to give an individual answer to them, you're going to outreach less. Maybe this is the reason you never outreached, like you said. So I really think it would be time well spent to set aside several days, a week, however long it takes, get the website, get your assets, your media kit, your one-pager. You can get a lot of those things done very, very cheap. You can go to Fiverr and get somebody to do a one-pager with a pretty good professional look to it. Give them suggestions, give them one-pagers that you really like, and just say, here, make me look like that. If you give them what you want, allow them to have their artistic creativity, but give them what you want and direct the process, and don't settle. You could get a good one-pager for I don't know, $10, $20, even if it's $50. I don't think it will be, but you can get something that you feel good about. And that good feeling will allow you to outreach more. Same thing for a media kit, although a media kit isn't necessarily a requirement. Some big corporations will want them, and there's nothing wrong with moving toward a media kit, but a media kit is not a requirement to get speaking gigs. I've been doing this 12 years. I don't have a media kit. I have something kind of like a media kit. We've made something that we call a media kit, but it doesn't have like a DVD in it. It doesn't have a folder. It doesn't have any kind of branded newsletter or just piece of paper or anything like that. It doesn't have what a lot of people would think needs to be in a media kit. So I want you to take action and also start building the media kit as you go. But I don't want that to be a reason that you don't take action. Your one-pager and your website, though, I want you to stop what you're doing and get those taken care of in a very short period of time, in a as little time as possible, so that you have something you feel good about. And then in the situation that you're in with the income goals that you have, you need to just take massive action. There's really no other way. There are people out there that will bring you in to speak, sometimes for free. Sometimes they'll pay you. Sometimes you get into negotiations. If you were to spend, 5 hours a day making outreaches, calling people, getting into discussions about bringing you in, if you make yourself valuable to the people that you are reaching out to, and you make sure that there's a fit, this is what I teach, and I know this is what you want, and you do research, There are plenty of opportunities out there, but it's not easy, especially when you don't have a whole lot of the assets that you don't currently have. You don't have a long list of corporate clients. Sounds like you've got some clients in the past that have reached out to you, but you've just got to take massive action and go toward your dreams. $150,000 in 2018, that's possible, but not if you are toe dipping, not if you're just trying to do it the safe route. You got to go after it like your life depended on it, like you have the cure for cancer and people are going to die if they don't hear about you. If you have that level of tenacity and you put 40 hours, 60 hours in your business, just outreaching, you're going to get gigs. You're going to get referrals. You're eventually going to start getting higher prices. You're going to increase. But the speaking world is a pretty competitive place also. There are a lot of people trying to get speaking gigs. So you've got to let go of whatever your internal demands are and play the game, right? Meaning you've got to let go of, I need to make this kind of money in this amount of time and it needs to look this way. There's nothing wrong with having standards, but you can't, like, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but you can't kind of have your nose high up in the air and say, well, I'm not going to lower my, my speaking fee below $5,000 if you're not a $5,000 speaker on paper. And it doesn't matter what your value is in terms of your content. What matters is your perceived value in the market, because if people don't think you're a $5,000 speaker and they won't pay $5,000 for you, then you ain't a $5,000 speaker. And that's just the reality based on perception from the market. So that's why your website is important. That's why sending out a one-pager is important. And at the same time, be open to everything. I've only gotten paid to speak 4 times in 12 years. We've made nearly $5 million. I've only gotten paid to speak 4 times. So also be open to speaking for free, but selling products, speaking or in some kind of a trade, right? Speak for free. They videotape you, you get the footage that can add to your media kit, but you've got to just drop all of your, take the parking brake off completely. And if you're serious about that goal and you're serious about getting this done, you've got to go after it and go massive, massive action. I'd rather you take simplicity and apply it in a massively profound way than to try to get too complicated and apply it in a safe way. Ideas for list starters, you just messaged me. The basic of building a list is offering somebody something for their information. That's the basic, right? So you could be in a speaking event and have a physical opt-in page, basically, where they give you their name and email. And I would also advise you to ask for their phone number, and you send them something after the speaking event, right? It could be a PDF that you have, like an ebook or something. It could be an audio. It could be, I'm gonna list some normal, like traditional, we call these free magnets or free opt-ins or lead magnets, but it all depends on what your market wants. So you've got ebooks, you've got audio programs, you've got videos, you've got checklists, you've got quizzes. That's real hot nowadays. Like, and I'm pretty sure you're in the financial world. So are you going to end up broke? Take this quiz and find out. People love to be diagnosed that way and be told whether they're going to be broke or not. So quizzes are really hot right now. Any form of diagnostic, like these are the 5 stages of financial freedom. But you want to find out what your market wants. And I've got probably 10 different lead magnets, and it depends on who I'm in front of for me to decide what I'm going to do. Sometimes I'll be in front of a group and I say, I have an audio, it's 3 hours long and it's all about releasing sales fears, and the crowd will eat it up. I'm in another crowd, and if I tell them I have a 3-hour audio, nobody's going to sign up for that. but I know the different crowds that I speak to. Some of them crave that, and some of them don't want that. They just want 5 bullets on how to get rid of some fear or whatever. And that's the thing that's going to build the list. But at the basic level, you've got to trade something of value for something of value. Trade them, some kind of lead magnet for what you're going to give them. And then you clarified the question, and I didn't see that you clarified it. I meant list of places to call to speak. The internet, local organizations. Once you have clarity, here's marketing in a nutshell. You have a valuable product, whatever the product is, speaking, services, or widget. You have a valuable product. You have people that need the product and people that want the product. Here's what marketing is. Find the people where they are and tell them about your product. That's marketing in a nutshell. Where are your people? And tell them about your product. If your people are online, your people might be in Facebook groups, your people might be giving seminars, your people might be found in associations. There's all kinds of association websites out there. So let's say you want to speak in the financial services, look for the Association of Financial Professionals and see if they put on seminars, and see if you can get to event producers, right? See if you can get to event managers. Just research. You've got to make yourself valuable, and you got to find the place where the people are that need what you have. You could go to the local chamber of commerce and see all the local businesses that could use your services. You could go to whatever the online yellow pages or online white pages are. You could do a search within a 50-mile radius of where you are, like on Google or something. Where are the financial professionals? You could think, who needs this kind of information that doesn't, might not even seem like they're searching for financial stuff, but maybe they're searching for insurance, or maybe they're searching for real estate investing. And those are the people that need to learn how to actually invest their money, or how to do something else with what you could teach them, right? Or how to avoid bankruptcy or whatever. And I'm not positive exactly what your content is. But the bottom line is, you got to be aggressive and go after people. When I first started out, now, of course, it was a different time. It was 12 years ago. But when I first started out, I opened up the yellow pages that, I don't even know they have yellow pages physically anymore, but I opened up the yellow pages and I spent days calling each organization that I thought could hear my message. And here's what I said. Do you guys bring in speakers? If it's no, thanks. Have a good day. If it's yes, can I talk to the person that decides on bringing in speakers? Oh, it's you? Let me tell you about myself. I teach people how to set better goals. And I know that you, as the Kiwanis Club, are interested in teaching your members how to set goals. And I know you have a big initiative this year of getting to 10,000 people. And I would love to come by and give a presentation to your group on goal setting, if you're open to that. Some of those people would go, no, we don't bring those kinds of speakers. And some of those people would go, can you come this afternoon? We have a meeting this afternoon. And I'd be like, yes. The answer to any form of the question, can you come talk to our group, is yes. Sometimes they would say, can you send me more information? I don't know if it's a good fit. Sometimes they would say, can you send me your website? Sometimes they would say, can you send me a sample DVD? If I don't have a sample DVD, I didn't send it to them. But I tried to get in with what I had until they told me they needed something else. I didn't wait until I had all of these assets before I started making the outreach. There are plenty of people that will bring you in. And when I got in front of people, they would always give me referrals. You need to talk to this person. You need to talk to this person. I have somebody that I would love for you to speak to. And then you just start following the trails. And so you've got to be adamantly going after it. Here's what I will say. I'll make a blanket statement. Most people don't work hard enough. That's simple. Most people don't work hard enough. I was telling one of my clients recently, we were talking about the early phases of building a business. And they were saying, I've been doing this for 3 years and I haven't really gotten any big success. I haven't gotten my goals. I haven't gotten these clients and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, how many webinars have you done? How many programs have you led? How many people have you outreach to, right? And their answers were minuscule. And I said this, and I don't mean to say this to pump my own ego, but I mean to say this to support this point. I said, listen, by the time I was in business for as long as you've been in business on the calendar, I had 100 videos on YouTube. I had 50 CDs that I had created. I had done 25 webinars. I had reached out to literally thousands of people in the form of email and social media posts. And although social media was not very big back then, it was just getting started. But I'm going to say this very bluntly. Most people don't work hard enough. They don't work hard enough to reach the clicking point that's needed for their business to explode. And what matters is not time on the calendar. What matters is time on the street, meaning time in motion. It doesn't matter if you've been in business for 2 years. How many activities have you committed to? How many steps have you taken? That's what matters. And here's what I also know. The thing that most of us, and probably all of you, are waiting for, that golden goose, that clicking point, as I call it, is not immediately in front of you. I can promise you that. It's probably 159 steps ahead of you. The question is, how fast are you going to take those steps? If you knew that it really was step 159, you'd go after it faster. You'd probably get there by next week because the unconscious mind knows there's a guaranteed number, right? But because most people want it to be step 3, they don't even take step 2 until they get ready and they're totally clear of all their internal, dialogue and all the stuff that is just impossible. Light yourself on fire. That's my message for most people. Light yourself on fire. I don't know what's going to work for you, but if you're not where you are, I know what won't work for you, everything you've tried up until now. I don't know the magic ingredient that you need to add to the recipe that's going to make it all click, but I know it's not what you've been following because you don't have what you want. So keep adding different recipes. Keep trying harder. Serve harder. Love more. Go faster. Not carelessly, but most people are trying to not make mistakes so they don't take enough action. I would rather you have to recover from mistakes than avoid them and not take action. I've made so many mistakes. One of my famous mistakes is for 2 months, everybody that clicked the link that I sent out was sent to a violent porn site. Violent porn. That's what I was sending everybody to because I had some virus and I couldn't get a hang of it. And each time I thought it was gone, I would send out another email and send people there, and it wasn't gone. But I'll tell you what, if I wouldn't have been in motion enough to make that mistake, I wouldn't have created the success that I had created also, right? So too many people are so afraid of making mistakes that they don't take action. I'm channeling Bette Midler right now, The Rose, right? I think it's the soul afraid of dying who never takes a chance to live. Something like that. I probably butchered it just a little bit. But you have to take committed, almost ignorant action. Now, I'm going to take almost out. You have to be willing to take ignorant action. Ignorant meaning you don't actually know if it's going to work. Because it's impossible to know if something is actually going to work. Most people are so afraid of ignorant action because they're afraid of making mistakes that they stand in perfect hesitancy, right? They're more committed to perfection in their hesitancy than imperfection in their action. And it doesn't matter how much we talk about marketing systems and all the different strategies and all that stuff. I can give you the $1 million strategy. If you're not willing to take committed action until it works, You can't win. Most people are conditionally committed. They are 100% committed as long as their conditions are met, as long as they don't get fears, as long as they don't have doubts, as long as it's comfortable, as long as it won't cost money, as long as it won't take time, as long as it'll be as easy as they want it to be, as long as it'll be faster than somebody else's. All of these conditions take you out of the game. You've got to have unconditional commitment. You've got to be committed until it works. Until it works. That's the secret sauce.